Good morning, fam. Whether you've just woken up, need a midday reset, or a winding down, this full body activation routine will leave you feeling refreshed and flexible. We'll spend 1 minute on each stretch, flowing seamlessly through movements that open up the hips, spine, and shoulders, while strengthening key muscles. No equipment is needed. Just find a quiet space, grab a mat, and let's hit the mat. Let's begin grounded in child's pose, a position that centers and calms the body. Transitioning into cobra will help awaken your spine and prepare your muscles for movement. Start on all fours, then sink your hips back towards your heels, extending your arms forward. Let your forehead rest on the mat, inhaling deeply. On your exhale, glide forward into cobra. Lower your hips to the mat, press into your palms and lift your chest. This dynamic stretch loosens your lower back and shoulders while gently activating your core. Cobra adds an energizing lift, improving posture and increasing spinal flexibility. If you're a beginner, limit the range of motion in cobra by lifting your chest only slightly. If you're advancing in the stretch, press deep into the mat. Lift your chest higher, letting your upper body fully extend. Let's move into seated side bend to stretch the sides of your body and create space in your ribs for deeper breathing. Sit cross-legged with a tall spine. Place your right hand on the floor beside you and reach your left arm overhead, bending gently to the right. Inhale as you stretch. Exhale as you return to center. Now bend to the left and keep alternating sides. This stretch will relieve tension in the sides of your body and improve mobility in the spine, shoulders, and obliques. If you're a beginner, keep your supporting hand closer to your body for stability. If you're advancing, reach further with your extended arm to deepen the stretch. It's time to loosen up the spine and awaken your core with cat-cow. This is your spinal reset, perfect for improving flexibility and alignment. Start on all fours with your wrists under your shoulders and knees under your hips. Inhale, arch your back, lift your chest, and tilt your pelvis up for cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, and draw your belly button towards your spine for cat pose. Flow between these movements with your breath. Cat-cow will enhance spinal mobility, relieving tension in the back and neck, and activates the core, prepping your body for more dynamic stretches. If you're a beginner, keep movements small and focus on the breath. If you're advancing in this stretch, slow down each motion to feel every vertebra moving individually. Let's open up those hips. This stretch targets mobility in a critical area that supports your balance and posture. Sit with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor. Place your hands behind you for support. Drop your right knee toward your left foot, letting it fall naturally toward the floor. Then return to center and repeat with the left knee dropping to the right foot. This movement helps to release tight hips, increase range of motion, and improve overall lower body mobility. If you're a beginner, reduce the range of motion and keep your hands closer for more support. If you're advancing, lean slightly forward to intensify the stretch. Time to fire up the glutes with this classic activation exercise. Fire hydrants strengthen your hips and stabilize your core. Start on all fours with your wrists under your shoulders and knees under your hips. Keep your core tight as you lift your right knee out to the side, keeping it bent at a 90-degree angle. Lower it slowly and repeat. This move activates your glutes, improves mobility, and strengthens the stabilizing muscles around your core. If you're a beginner, limit the height of your knee lift. If you're advanced, add resistance with a loop band around your thighs. Great work so far, fam. We've started grounding ourselves and activating key muscles. Up next, we'll keep the momentum going with the left side of fire hydrants, followed up with more hip and lower body stretches. Let's keep building strength and flexibility. Time to balance things out, fam. Let's fire up the left side and keep building that strength and stability in your hips. Start on all fours, maintaining a strong and stable core. Lift your left knee out to the side, keeping it bent at 90 degrees. Lower back down with control and repeat. Focus on smooth, steady movements. This is about quality, not speed. This exercise strengthens your glutes and hip abductors, supporting better mobility and stability for everyday movement or intense workouts. If you're a beginner, keep the range of motion smaller until your hips feel more comfortable. If you're advanced, use the resistance band above your knees to intensify the burn. Let's bring it down to the mat and open up those hips with the butterfly stretch. This one's perfect for easing tightness and improving flexibility. Sit tall on the mat with the soles of your feet together, letting your knees fall open. Hold your feet with your hands and gently press your knees closer to the ground. Lean slightly forward for a deeper stretch, keeping your back straight. This stretch is going to target the inner thighs, hips, and groin, helping to improve range of motion and relieve tension built up from sitting. If you're a beginner, sit on a cushion to elevate your hips and make the stretch more accessible. If you're advanced, push your knees closer to the ground while leaning forward to increase intensity. Stand up tall, fam. It's time to stretch out those hamstrings and work on your spinal flexibility with wide stance toe touches. Stand with your feet wider than shoulder width apart and your arms extended out to the sides. Twist through your torso as you reach your right hand toward your left foot, keeping your spine long. Return to center and repeat on the other side, alternating for 1 minute. This stretch is going to lengthen your hamstrings, loosen up your lower back, and engage your core, making it a fantastic full body stretch. If you're a beginner and finding this one challenging, bend your knees slightly to reduce tension in the hamstrings. If you're already advanced in this stretch, keep your legs straight and deepen the twist for a more intense stretch. Time to stretch those hip flexors with the low lunge. Let's unlock tightness and build strength for better posture and mobility. Step your right foot forward into a lunge position with your left knee on the ground. Keep your chest lifted and your hands either on your thighs or resting on the floor for support. Lean slightly into the stretch, feeling the release in your left hip. The stretch targets the hip flexors, quads, and glutes, helping to counteract the tightness caused by prolonged sitting. If you're a beginner, try placing a cushion under your back knee for added comfort. If you're advanced, lift your back knee off the mat to activate the stretch that challenges your balance. Let's even things out, fam. Switch to the left side and feel the stretch and lock those tight muscles. Step your left foot forward into a lunge position with your right knee on the ground. Keep your chest lifted and your movements intentional, leaning gently into the stretch. Focus on keeping your hips square and steady. This stretch improves flexibility in your hips and quads while also engaging your core for added stability. If you're a beginner, try using blocks or a chair for support if reaching the floor feels challenging. Add a slight back bend to deepen the stretch and open your chest. Great work so far. You're loosening up your hips and building flexibility throughout your body. Let's bring it home with stretches that focus on spinal release and upper body activation. If you're ready, let's finish strong. Time to stretch the spine and shoulders with the puppy stretch, a perfect blend of relaxation and release. Start on all fours and walk your hands forward, lowering your chest toward the mat while keeping your hips stacked over your knees. Rest your forehead or chin on the floor, feeling the stretch along your spine and shoulders. Keep your breath slow and steady as you settle deeper into the position. This stretch elongates the spine and opens up the shoulders, releasing tension from prolonged sitting or upper body strain. If you're a beginner, try placing a cushion under your chest for extra support. If you're advanced, extend your arms further forward and press your chest closer to the floor. Let's gently wake up the lower back with the Sphinx stretch. This one's perfect for improving spinal mobility and posture. Lie on your stomach with your elbows under your shoulders and forearms parallel to the mat. Press through your forearms to lift your chest, keeping your neck long and gaze forward. Breathe deeply, feeling the gentle arch in your lower back. This stretch strengthens the lower back while opening the chest and shoulders. It's a go-to move for releasing tension and improving posture. If you're a beginner, keep the lift small, focusing on comfort and mobility. If you're advanced, press through your hands into a cobra stretch for a deeper arch. Stand tall and prepare to release the tension in your hamstrings and back with the standing forward fold. Hinge forward at the hips, letting your arms and head hang toward the floor. Keep your knees slightly bent if needed, focusing on lengthening your spine. Let gravity do the work, releasing tightness in your back and legs with each exhale. This stretch improves hamstring flexibility, relieves lower back tension, and promotes relaxation through gentle inversion. If you're a beginner, place your hands on your shins or use a block for support. If you're advanced in the stretch, straighten your legs fully and pull your chest closer to your thighs. Let's add a chest stretch to our forward bend to release upper body tension and improve flexibility. While in your forward bend, interlace your fingers behind your back. Lift your arms toward the ceiling, feeling the stretch across your chest and shoulders. Keep your neck relaxed and focus on slow, controlled movements. The stretch combines the forward fold with an upper body opener, releasing tension in the chest and shoulders while improving posture. If you're a beginner, use a towel or strap if interlacing your fingers feels difficult. If you're advancing, deepen the forward bend and lift your arms higher for an intensified stretch. Let's finish with the iconic Cobra stretch to energize your spine and create a sense of openness through your body. Lie on your stomach with your palms under your shoulders. Press through your hands to lift your chest, keeping your elbows slightly bent and your shoulders relaxed. Hold the stretch, breathe deeply, and feel your back and shoulders open up. This stretch strengthens your spine, opens your chest, and promotes better posture, all while leaving you feeling refreshed and energized. If you're a beginner, try keeping your elbows on the mat for a gentler sphinx stretch. If you're advancing in this stretch, straighten your arms fully for a deeper back bend. Fam, you're doing an awesome job so far. You've energized your core, opened your chest, and stretched your spine. Let's finish with moves that bring balance and release your lower body and hips. Ready to finish strong? Yep, let's keep it going. Let's get ready to unlock your hips and ease tension. Let's flow into pigeon pose, a deep stretch that feels as restorative as it is effective. From all fours, bring your right knee forward, placing it behind your right wrist, and extend your left leg straight back. Square your hips to the mat and rest your hands in front of you, or lower onto your forearms for a deeper stretch. Hold here, breathing deeply, and allow your hips to settle into the stretch. The stretch targets the hip flexors and glutes, releasing tension and improving mobility in the lower body. If you're a beginner, try placing a cushion or folded towel under your right hip for extra support. If you're advanced, try walk your hands forward and lower your chest closer to the mat. And you can also try adding good mornings, lifting your chest up and back down. Let's bring balance to the body by switching sides and releasing tension in the left hip. Bring your left knee forward, placing it behind your left wrist, and extend your right leg straight back. Keep your hips square to the mat, finding stability, and rest your hands or forearms in front of you. Breathe deeply, feeling the stretch deepen with each exhale. This stretch is not only going to release tension in the hips, but also promote balance between the left side and right sides of your body. If you're a beginner, do the same as the right side. Use a prop under your left hip for added comfort and support. If you're advanced, lower your chest fully to the mat and lift your chest back up and bring it back down, stretching further into the position. Let's energize those hips and quads with kneeling hip sit-ups, an active stretch that strengthens and mobilizes simultaneously. Kneel on the mat with your knees hip-width apart and your hands on your hips. Engage your glutes as you lower your hips back toward your heels. Then press forward and return upright. Move with control, focusing on activating your hips and thighs with each repetition. This dynamic stretch increases hip flexibility while strengthening your quads and glutes for improved lower body function. Here's a modification if you're a beginner. Keep the range of motion shallow to avoid discomfort. If you're already advancing in this stretch, add a slight back bend at the top for a deeper stretch through the hips and thighs. Time to challenge your legs and hips with the Cossack squat, a dynamic move that stretches and strengthens simultaneously. Stand with your feet wide apart. Shift your weight to the right leg, bending your knee and sinking into a side lunge, while keeping your left leg straight. Keep your chest lifted and arms in front of you for balance. Push through your right heel to return to center, then switch sides. Alternate slowly, focusing on control and depth. This stretch builds strength and flexibility in the inner thighs, hips, and quads, promoting balance and mobility. Here's a modification if you're a beginner. Place your hands on a sturdy surface for added support. If you want more of a challenge to advance in the stretch, sink deeper into each lunge for more intense stretch. Let's finish strong with squat to stand, a move that stretches your entire lower body while energizing the legs and core. Start in a deep squat position with your feet shoulder width apart and your chest lifted. Grab your toes with your hands, then extend your legs. lifting your hips toward the sky. Slowly return to the squat position, maintaining control and focusing on the stretch through your hamstrings and lower back. This dynamic stretch improves flexibility in the hamstrings, opens up the hips, and engages your core for a balanced finish. To modify this as a beginner, keep a slight bend in your knees during the hip lift. If you want to challenge yourself as you advance, add a small pause at the bottom of the squat for an extra activation. And there it is, fam. A full 20-minute stretch routine designed to activate, strengthen, and restore your entire body. If you're feeling grounded and energized, smash that subscribe button and join the fam for more transformative routines. Don't forget to check the link in the description for your free customizable fitness program. It's got everything you need to take your flexibility and strength to the next level. Stay strong, stay balanced, and I'll see you in the next session. Let's go!